Beliefs get triggered and truth resonates. What do I mean by this? When you hear something and you feel it to be true, and this can be anything, and you don't have any explanation for it, this could be perceived as the truth. I feel whatever this person is telling me, or I'm feeling whatever I'm hearing is true. And a lot of times we can rely on that. If we're really tapped into our intuition and our own divine guidance, we can tap into that. Whereas beliefs, if we hear something that challenges one of our belief systems, that's going to trigger some negative emotions. And so that's going to cause us to react. And so a lot of the times I've seen in my own life, negative beliefs get triggered. Whenever somebody triggers these beliefs, you feel it. And a lot of times this causes us to react. And when we're reacting, we're not reacting out of our truth. Because we're reacting out of a part of our ego that wants us to be right. Because when we filter our energy through negative beliefs, we're going to feel anxiety, we're going to feel sadness, we're going to feel negative emotions. And so for a good part of my life, I believed that ADHD and depression was just something I had. And it was just a part of me. And whenever somebody would challenge that, I would push back, I would get emotional. Because I'm like, okay, it's a disorder, it's all these things, I have to take these pills, the doctor told me it's real, all these things. And so I'd get emotional. But I realized that was a negative belief that was holding me back. And this could be felt. This negative belief could be felt, even though I wasn't conscious of it. But the more that we start to become conscious and go inward, we can start to differentiate what's true and what's false. What's a negative belief and what's a positive belief. And how can we separate the two? It's because we know, because one empowers us, which is the positive belief, and the other one is a negative belief, which disempowers us. And so that's something that can be felt. And so that's something that can be seen in our own life based on how we respond to situations. And so based on how we're responding to situations, we can see, even if we're not conscious of it, if we start to become more aware and conscious of what we're doing, we can become conscious of beliefs that are unconscious that are running our life. Because they show up in a negative form in our life. And so the key is realizing what's true, what's not. What's disempowering me, what's empowering me. Because a lot of people, and this comes due to our egos, is because we want ourselves to be right. And so if we hold a belief, our ego wants it to be right. And so when we're challenged, we'll get emotional. And so this is a key aspect in our lives to notice when negative emotions are arising during a certain circumstance, during a situation, during an event, during a part of our lives where we feel these negative emotions arise, because they're just a sign. They're just something that's guiding us to be, okay, there's something more to look at here beneath these negative emotions. And so it's always tied to a negative belief. And so another example, and this can be tied to self-worth and something I've seen, something I've dealt with, not having a good self-worth. And so when you filter your energy through that specific belief that I'm not enough, you feel that anxiety because you feel small. It's a belief that contracts, not expands. Because you want to hide because you feel like you're not good enough. And so there's multiple ways that specific belief can show up. And so if you have somebody outside of you and they affirm that belief and they say, oh, you're not very good at doing this specific task or whatever it may be. You're not good at doing this. That's going to trigger that belief that I'm not good enough. And so you're going to feel that, and you're going to feel this sensation of contraction. And so this sensation of contraction tells us that there's a negative belief that we have. Because if we don't believe that specific belief that I'm not good enough, if somebody tells you, oh, you're not very good at that, or something bad about you, you're not going to resonate with that belief because it's not true to you. And so it's not going to trigger that belief, and you're not going to feel those negative emotions. And rather, you're just going to brush it off because it doesn't mean anything, because it's not real, it's not true. It's not true to you, and so it doesn't resonate, so it doesn't land. And so the key is realizing what causes us to trigger us. And so that can cause us to take a look at our beliefs and realize what's running the show. Because a lot of times these beliefs are just unconscious. We don't even know that we have them. And that's a big part of it, is because our subconscious mind runs 95% of our daily life. 95% of the daily actions that we take are from our own subconscious mind. And so our beliefs are ran by our subconscious mind. And so only what we do 5% of the day is conscious. Everything else, we're just running out of a program because we have a belief, because we think this belief or whatever we think we're doing serves us in some manner. And so the reason why we have these different negative beliefs is because we were taught these. And so the key is to realize what beliefs we're holding, who taught us these, do they have the best interests at heart for teaching us these beliefs? And is it okay to set them down? Because I had to set those beliefs down about ADHD, depression, anxiety, self-worth, everything. I had to set those down so I could step into a new belief, so I could step into empowerment, to be empowered, to step into my own power and choose my own destiny and create something that's positive rather than live out of a space that's negative. And so the more that we can delineate what's true and what's not, the better and easier our life will become. Because if we're struggling, that means we're operating out of a negative belief. So I want you to look at, why do I believe what I believe? My most strongest beliefs, are they empowering me or are they disempowering me? And whenever I'm in a situation where negative emotions get triggered, it's a chance to go inward. So those situations no longer affect you. Because if you drop the belief, the situations are no longer going to trigger you. And that's it.